So for this episode, we're going to be recapping the crazy UFC Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley fight card. I wasn't surprised with a lot of the victories because on the main card, at least, because it seemed as if a lot of guys were coming in really hot and other guys not so much. So I wasn't surprised to see finally my predictions finally succeed. I literally went basically 5-5 if it wasn't for Nico Price's eye pokes. But I'll just go through really quickly who won, and then I'll go into each fight a little bit more in depth. So Tyson Nam with a TKO, Andre Ewell via split decision, and then Randy Costa with an absolute devastator head kick. Derek Minner got TJ Laramie with a guillotine. Jessica Rose Clark, that was a crazy fight. I can't wait to talk about that one. Mayra Bueno Silva with a armbar. Damon Jackson, absolutely savage, dude. He was basically kind of getting destroyed and then just kept getting submission attempt after submission attempt and eventually got it done. And then David Dvorak, he is something else. He is crazy good. Kevin Holland won, Mackenzie Dern won, Johnny Walker won, Khamzat Chimaev won, Donald Cerrone and Nico Price, they split. They had a draw, and then Colby Covington. So basically, Tyson Nam, his last fight against Zaruk, I forget his last name. Absolutely, Tyson Nam ended Zaruk with the overhand right. Tyson Nam basically did the same thing here against poor Jerome Rivera in the second round. I didn't get to watch much of this fight because I wasn't home at the time, but then I turned on as soon as I got home, and I watched all of the Andre Ewell versus Erwin Rivera fight. Andre Ewell basically, he took a split decision, but I didn't think it was that close. Erwin Rivera, the only reason why it was super close is because he just tried to stay in the fight as much as possible, was hitting Andre with big shots, but Andre was able to kind of keep distance and utilize his length, and he utilized his length, and he also, his really slick boxing and his volume basically gave him the dub, even though both of these guys are they're awesome. And then even Andre Ewell had a good last one against Jonathan Martinez, and Jonathan Martinez is an awesome striker, but he's super young. So look out for Andre Ewell and Tyson Nam. They are really good. And then Randy Costa, I've never seen him fight before. He was up against Journey Newsome, and he kind of I think it was a jab, and he managed to drop Journey Newsome's hands, and then he followed it up with a left head kick, and it just not slept him because he had to follow up with punches, but he dropped Journey Newsome, and I had Journey Newsome winning this fight. But Randy Costa, he is awesome. He's young. And then as for the Derek Minner versus TJ Laramie fight, they were kind of up against the cage, and I think this was early. This was the first round. TJ Laramie had Derek Minner up against the cage, and then Derek Minner kind of not pulled the guard, but he just pulled into a guillotine, got him in that, managed to submit TJ Laramie. Jessica Rose Clark versus Sarah Alpar. This fight should have been stopped earlier, but again, I think it was Steve Taioni, the referee. It was a really odd thing where Sarah Alpar, she barely had her butt above the ground, and she was up against the cage, and Jessica Rose Clark kneed her in the face, and it was almost illegal, but since her butt was just above the canvas, it was a legal shot. But either way, Taioni should have called the fight, because Alpar was, when you get kneed to the face, especially after taking a beating, and this is in the third round, you need to call the fight. You know what I mean? But he ended up not calling it. But so when he separated him, and then they figured everything out, it was a weird situation. Then he called him to start fighting because he never waived it. And then just Alpar took unnecessary damage, and it was not good to see. She got busted up, broken nose. You don't want to see that, especially when a fight, it gets not even close anymore. You know what I mean? And you're just taking unnecessary damage, and you don't want to see that. And then Mayra Bueno Silva, she got an armbar. And then Damon Jackson, good story. He was in the UFC. Then he was fought, and then he fought, and then I think he left, or they just didn't want to re-sign him. And then he was fighting in a different promotion. And then he finally got his chance again against Mirsad Bektic, and that fight was wild because Mirsad Bektic is an absolute beast, outstriking. Damon had no answer for him on the feet, and Bektic was also taking him down. But Damon Jackson's really savvy on the ground, and what he was doing was just trying to get submission attempt after submission attempt, and eventually he got it. I think it was he had 7 total attempts, and I think in the third round he sunk in a guillotine and managed to get Mirsad out there. But I wanted to emphasize that Bektic is a beast, and I don't think a lot of people are going to want to fight him. And then David Dvorak, the flyweight division is a little bit odd, but David Dvorak is definitely going to be a problem there. Jordan Espinosa really he landed a few good shots, but Dvorak was just eating up his lead leg, and it was just kind of one of those fights again, like I said, that you really appreciate, like, not being in there with David Dvorak, because those leg kicks, they were pretty heavy. And David Dvorak managed to win every single round. It was 30-27, unanimous decision. But as for the prelims, really good. It's always fun to watch those because those are going to be your future stars one day. But nothing can really compare to the main card. The main card, Kevin Holland versus Darren Stewart. That was a really good fight. At times it was a firefight because they were just throwing back and forth. But I personally, Kevin Holland wasn't happy with the decision because he kind of didn't finish as strong as he wanted to. But again, it's a 3-round fight, and the circumstances aren't really in everybody's favor all the time with COVID. But I guess there's been tons of events, and that's really no excuse anymore. But Kevin Holland, he took a split decision. He literally said he wants to run it back, and he thought he lost the fight. But the numbers show it. Kevin Holland, he definitely outstruck Darren Stewart. Darren Stewart's a beast. He managed to land some ground and pound and land a takedown later in the third round. And I think that's what got into Kevin Holland's head. But Kevin Holland stunned and wobbled Darren Stewart multiple times. Didn't get the knockout like I thought he would. Really good fight to start off the main card. And then Brandon Marcos was no match for Mackenzie Dern because Mackenzie Dern's jiu-jitsu and ground game is unbelievable. She missed a leg kick, and so she fell down, and Ronda Marcos accepted it. And she went down. She decided to start grappling with Mackenzie Dern. I don't know why you would want to do that. And all of a sudden, Mackenzie Dern started looking for submissions, started looking for triangles. And eventually, after a while, Ronda Marcos found herself in an armbar. Pretty wicked one too. Like there was multiple attempts that Mackenzie Dern tried to get her in an armbar and was cranking on that arm, but eventually sunk it in there for sure. And Ronda Marcos, I think she should probably maybe retire. She's getting up there in age. And Mackenzie Dern, that's just a really tough fight for anybody right now, especially on the ground. With Mackenzie Dern, she's a beast. And then Johnny Walker versus Ryan Superman Spann, like I said, this was probably going to be the fight of the night. It didn't get fight of the night because it ended so quickly. Ryan Spann, big, strong guy. Johnny Walker, big, athletic, strong guy. Ryan Spann actually managed to hurt Johnny Walker severely in the first round. But Johnny Walker, like I was expecting, well, I don't know if I was expecting, but I was thinking he's had all this time to improve his ground game, and he definitely did. He was hurt, was rocked, managed to recover a little bit on the ground, and found his way back to his feet, which was really impressive against a big, strong guy like Ryan Spann. And Ryan Spann, Johnny Walker got to his feet. Ryan Spann, Johnny Walker, they ended up hitting each other simultaneously again, and both of them were hurt. But then Ryan Spann saw that Johnny was a little bit wobbled, so he shot in, but Ryan Spann was more hurt than Johnny was, and they were pinned up against the fence, and Johnny Walker just started raining elbows and punches. And it was just like, I couldn't even imagine what those felt like, especially to the side of the head, and that eventually got Ryan Spann out of there. Both of those guys are really good, but Johnny Walker, he's staying in contention, which is awesome to see, especially such a big, long guy. Because if you want to succeed at the light heavyweight division, you have to have certain You have to be a certain kind of body type, because you see these guys. I'm sure. I mean, like obviously you have like anomalies like Daniel Cormier, where they're not the biggest guy, but they have really good wrestling or something. But he was never really truly. He was the champion, but John Jones always the champion because he's so long, and so athletic, and that's what you have to have in order to be a dominant light heavyweight, and that's what Johnny Walker has. So if he continues to improve, there's no reason why he couldn't fight for the title soon. But he definitely has to string a few wins together against good guys. But Ryan Spann is certainly a start. And then as for Khamzat Chimaev, I don't know what more to say about how good this guy is. I want to talk about him because I honestly think that he has the makings to be one of the best, not only welterweights, but middleweights ever, because his body type, his power, his grappling, his striking, he literally trains with Alexander Gustafsson, and apparently has done really well against him, and that's Alexander's main training partner. Khamzat Chimaev, I thought it was going to be a long day for Gerald Meerschaert, but he just won. Like, I knew, like, when I saw him shadow boxing, preparing for the fight, he was training like a parking lot. He's a beast everywhere. I don't know how people are going to stop him. I really don't see anybody in the top 5 like welterweight rankings stopping this guy. I don't see anybody in the middleweight division stopping this guy. Like, truthfully, if he wants to take you to the ground, he's going to take you to the ground. If he wants to strike with you, he's going to strike with you. And he has one punch knockout power, and he displayed that against Gerald Meerschaert. And Gerald Meerschaert's no joke. Like, he's a beast. He's like 31-13 or something. But Khamzat got him out of there quickly, and I really think he's going to be one of the best guys ever. I don't see anybody beating him unless there's more guys like him that I just don't know about. And then as for the Nico Price versus Donald Cerrone fight, that fight was absolutely crazy because Nico Price came out hot, but Cowboy managed to weather the storm. And then a few eye pokes kind of ruined it for Nico. Nico outstruck him. Like, I forget how many. Nico significantly outstruck Cowboy, but it was a draw because he got pointed for 2 eye pokes. And I hate eye pokes because Donald's already been I don't know. I just feel like he always gets kind of screwed in fights sometimes, but he never complains, and that's what everybody loves about him. But Nico and him probably are going to fight again. But I'm really happy to see Cowboy. He did really well. I thought it was going to be a quick outing, but he managed to tough it out. And then as for the Colby Covington fight, Colby Covington did what he wanted to do to Tyron Woodley. He took him down, ground and pound, leg kicks, body shot. Like, he worked the body. He did everything. Like, I don't know. He had a more impressive performance, in my opinion, than what Gilbert Burns did to Tyron Woodley. But because obviously, because Tyron Woodley, he broke his rib during the fight, and I think that it might have been injured before, but Colby Covington, the pressure he puts on guys and the way he just never gets tired, it's going to be an issue. I would love to see Khamzat versus Colby Covington eventually or something like that one day. That'd be crazy. But Colby Covington, he's a problem. Probably he's so cringy sometimes, though, and I don't understand. I don't know. He's something else, but hate him or love him, you got to respect everything about his fight game. He is a stud. He's so tough. And I think what kind of was a little bit weird about this fight was because Colby wasn't as aggressive because he was scared. I don't think he was scared. He was just really conscientious of Tyron Woodley's like one punch knockout power. And so he was a little bit hesitant at times to just stand up with him. But when he managed to close the distance and take Tyron down, it was over. He started landing big elbows, and Tyron just tried to pull a guillotine on him, and then I think that was when Tyron eventually broke his rib. But dude, these fights were crazy, and if I had to give performance of the night, obviously I would give it to Khamzat Chimaev because the hype doesn't bother him. I don't think the fame's going to bother him. But yeah, this is another reason why I think he's going to be a champion, is because he's so level-headed and like even keel to the point where it doesn't even matter how famous he gets. He's just going to always go out there and perform he doesn't care who his opponent is. He's just in there, smash somebody, get money. And I just really think that he's going to be one of the best ever. I've never seen anything like it. I don't like, it's so rare to see somebody this good just hop into UFC. You're like, where has this guy been? But he's been honing in his skills apparently, and he was ready when the time came. And I just think he is going to kill some top flight talent in the near future. But yeah, I can't wait for his fight with Damian Maia. And I think that kind of wraps up the UFC fights for this last Saturday. And then Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa is going to come up, do some predictions for that. But I'm definitely pumped to see who's going to be the new light heavyweight champion, because the guy we interviewed, Jiri Prochazka's, he's up there in the rankings, and he'll probably get a title shot in the near future, which is pretty sick. But yeah, the fights were absolutely incredible. I enjoyed watching every single one of them. At times, it kind of stinks though, because like Khamzat, because like a guy like that, you're really excited for, and for it to be done like that, like in the blink of an eye, is kind of disappointing. But you have to respect it. I had a really good time watching these fights. It was sick. But yeah, do you have anything you want to add, Jonah?
No, that was a pretty good recap.
Thank you. So that wraps up the UFC. I really wanted to talk about at the end, Anthony Davis's game winner. I only managed to watch like the end of the Nuggets game. I thought the Nuggets, I watched some highlights, and I think they did pretty well. And especially in the second game, because we haven't really seen that, I feel like. Besides like the first game of the series when you play the Lakers, no one's really showed out in like any game besides the first one. I feel like they've all kind of been blowouts, right? Not blowouts, but the Lakers have seemed dominant in every other game except game one.
Yep, they've gone 9-0 in all non-game ones. But the thing that I guess struck me about this game was what a great finish it was to quite a terribly played game. You saw both of the teams have turnover rates of over 20%. I think it was 22% for the Nuggets, 24% for the Lakers, especially in the fourth quarter. I thought the process was very bad for the Lakers offense. They were stuck in mud for a lot of that time, when really it seemed like they had been getting favorable matchups all night, especially once they got Howard out of there and there was Jokic on 80.
Jokic did good.
Yeah. But on defense, Anthony Davis actually had 7 possessions when he was matched up with Jokic in isolation, and he was able to score on 6 of those 7 possessions. So I wish the Lakers had maybe fed AD even more in the post, even though it was a very productive offensive night as it was for the Brow. But on the other side, the Nuggets offense, it looked all right. The stat that really struck me after this was over, I think Kevin Pelton posted this on his Twitter account, is Jamal Murray didn't have an amazing offensive night. I think he was like 8 of 19 and then 2 of 9 from 3, I think something along those lines. Mm-hmm. But he played 44 minutes and he was plus 14, and the Nuggets lost by 2, meaning they got outscored by 18 points in the 4 minutes, where Jamal Murray was off the floor, which is just an astounding margin. And I think partially that's just luck. Like, just the mere fact that the Lakers were able to score 18 points in 4 minutes is amazing. And there had to be some shooting luck involved in that. Like, obviously, Jamal Murray being on the bench isn't causing these shots to go in for the Lakers. But I also think it speaks to the impact Will Barton has on this Nuggets team, how they really don't have a great initiator from the perimeter. Obviously, Jokic can take on a huge portion of the responsibility on offense, but nobody else in the Nugget backcourt really comes close to matching the level of production that Jamal Murray has as sort of that secondary dynamic on-ball creator. Like, I don't think Monte Morris really fills that role at all. And so that stat really stuck out to me. And then, towards the end of the game, like I was saying, the Lakers offense really was in mud. They got a nice Danny Green three, but most of the other baskets they scored in the final 3 minutes, obviously, you had the Jokic or the Anthony Davis buzzer beater, and then you had Anthony Davis taking a step back three over Jokic, and then you had KCP hurling a shot in from the corner, which was just a ridiculous make. So I thought partially it was good defense by the Nuggets. I thought it was a very good showing for some of their guys like Paul Millsap. I thought had a great game, especially when they put him on Anthony Davis. And then partially I wish the Lakers had kind of kept their foot on the gas. And sometimes I think these NBA teams play like what I call prevent offense, where they kind of go away from their normal sets and focus more on running the clock down. And I think that's what happened to the Lakers offense, and they got stuck in the mud, but ultimately won.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting I was really expecting the Lakers to kind of have their way with them in game 2, because that's just how it's been. But
Right.
it's sweet. Like, that gives me hope, even though they lost. Like, the Lakers, literally, if AD doesn't drain that shot, it's tied 1-1 right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the Celtics, they got a dub. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought
Gordon
Hayward coming back made a big difference for him.
Who?
Gordon Hayward.
Oh yeah, Gordon Hayward's back.
Yeah.
Oh, sick, dude! I completely spaced that he was even on their team for a second.
Yeah, and he didn't have his most amazing game the other night, but just having another competent player they can bring off their bench and sort of take away Semi Ojeley's minutes and reduce Brad Wanamaker's role is a big step up in quality for Boston.
For sure. So now, is there anything else NBA? There's nothing much. The games are pretty much. It's just
not really. No game tonight. We should do another NBA show once we know the finals matchup, but
for sure.
Really pressing at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to? Did you write anything down for like the franchises and stuff?
Yeah, I had one idea just off the top of my head.
Yeah. So basically, what we were thinking we were going to do is like talk about some of the like any franchise that needs sort of a makeover or kind of something more refreshing, because a lot of times, as well, not now. I mean, more teams are definitely kind of hopping on the train of appealing to younger audiences and trying to make things more like brighter and exciting. But some franchises aren't so much. They're more classic. So I just was curious to see what Jonah would come up with as for what franchise needs kind of a makeover.
Yeah, so there were 2 teams in the NBA this year that I kind of thought had terrible uniforms. And one of them corrected it, and that's the Atlanta Hawks. Finally, the ugly neon green trim on their uniforms.
Yeah,
but they're looking a lot better. Kind of went back to the classic red and yellow color scheme. And then the other team that's needed, I thought, a uniform update for the past decade is the Dallas Mavericks. And I know there's some sentimental value to the uniforms because they won the championship with Dirk while wearing those. But I don't know. I'd like to see him go back to the old school blue and green that they wore in like the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah, those are cool. Those are the throwback ones.
Right. Yeah.
I've only seen those on a few games. That's cool. But yeah, do you have any? Wait, what was the other one? It was the it was the Hawks and the Mavs. That's cool. Yeah. Do you have any other? Do you have any NFL ones?
Any NFL ones?
Yeah.
I don't like the Broncos uniforms.
Really?
Yeah. I really hated the Patriots uniforms and the Falcons uniforms, but they both got updates this year.
I like the Patriots uniforms now.
Yeah, now they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty sick. What would you, if you would rank your top 5 NBA uniforms?
Uniforms, ooh, that's tough off the top of my head. Obviously, the Blazers have got to be number 1. The Raptors, I think the Raptors have cool uniforms. Now I think the Hawks' new uniforms are very nice. Yeah, those 3 stick out particularly. The Celtics have really nice kind of classic uniforms, so I'd include them. And then for my last selection. The Grizzlies actually have cool colors, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree for sure. For NFL, I kind of want to rank some of my top. So, not any particular. Okay, I'll try to go in order here, but it's so hard though because each one is so different. I'll name some of my least favorite ones for sure. I don't like the Bengals uniforms.
No.
I'm not a big fan of the Broncos uniforms either. Actually, I do. This might be a surprise. I like the Jets uniforms a lot. The Jets uniforms are sick. For some reason, I'm just down with that green. And I also like, obviously, the 49ers uniforms are cool, but I would not be opposed to some kind of switch up in the near future. Because I don't know, I feel like a gold and like black colorway would be kind of sick. Or like white. Like they have an all white one, but I feel like something that has more gold in it would be pretty cool. Another one that I really like, I hate the Rams. I said that before. The Rams uniforms are
the arena football uniforms.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is unpopular, but I like the Falcons uniforms. The ATL in the middle kind of looks sick. Do you like the Falcons uniforms?
I've only seen the black ones. Let me look at them again. Let me get a closer look. You can keep talking.
Okay, and then I dig the Patriots. Patriots uniforms are sick. The Giants is okay. It's really boring though. For sure. I don't really like Tennessee's uniforms, the Titans. The Chiefs uniforms are stupid. I hate them. The Eagles are okay. The Packers are classic. They're sick. The Browns are cool, but they kind of need. I wish they had a new logo because the helmet's like. I don't know. The helmet's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I don't care for the Falcons' new uniforms.
Really?
No, especially that one where it's
Vikings are sick.
I don't like the gradient one. You know, this one with the red and it kind of fades to black.
I think the Falcons uniforms are sick though. I think they're cool. I don't know why.
They're better than the old ones for sure.
Yeah, I really like the Ravens uniforms are sick. I really like the Ravens too. Some of the Bears ones sick. I like the Detroit Lions. They're gray ones. They're kind of some people think they're ugly, but they're kind of dope. But yeah. The Cardinals. You know how they have like those black ones?
Yeah.
I like those a lot.
They've had those ones for a long time, I feel like.
And they have, for sure. But, and then the Washington Redskins, obviously they need to change theirs.
Yeah. Oh, but they have, I like their colors and stuff, though. If they just...
Yeah, their colors are cool. But I'm really interested to see what they end up picking.
I actually think the Redskins have a really cool uniforms. You just kind of need to replace the imagery and the words and stuff. But
100%. Oh, the Chargers. The Chargers have really cool ones. Yeah, the Chargers have really nice ones. The Dolphins, The Panthers, Cowboys,
Oh, yeah, the Panthers need new uniforms badly. Those are another really bad one.
Yeah.
You've left out my two favorite NFL ones, which are the Chiefs and the Raiders.
Huh? I love the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders.
I hate the Chiefs. The Chiefs are trash. Their
uniforms?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's just like, I don't know, they're bland, dude. You like them?
Yeah, I like them. I like I don't know. I like how they have that sort of old school AFC patch on it. I think that looks sick. And then I feel like red and yellow is a good color scheme. I like how the numbers have like the yellow outline on them. They kind of pop.
Yeah.
And then I like how the jersey doesn't have stripes on it, but the pants do have stripes on it. I thought that was a mistake Atlanta made with their uniforms. I think when you have the stripe going down the side of the jersey and the side of the pants, it just looks a little too like costume-ish, you know?
See, I kind of like that. I don't know. I think that they look sick. I just am a big fan of the numbers, but if I had to rank them, I'd probably go... I really like the Raiders uniforms, and I really like the Chargers. I dig the Jets, especially their black ones. And then for my last one, I'd have to go probably... It's so hard. I don't like the Bucks. Do you like the Bucks unis? Oh, the Ravens. The Ravens uniforms are really cool. I like those a lot.
I hated the Bucks' old uniforms, but I actually kind of like the new ones.
The Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
The old ones where like the numbers were like digital alarm clocks. That was awful.
what?
Look at their old
You
ones.
can sneeze,
I was about to sneeze. I held it in there. But
bro. That's savage.
look at the Buccaneers' old uniforms from last year.
Buccaneers, old unis. We're gonna have a fun episode tomorrow. I came up with a bunch of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we're also gonna.
You did good. We all did good. We all went like 12-4.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Oh wait, yeah, I know you're talking about the Bucks uniforms. Yeah,
Yeah, tomorrow are we gonna have a long episode then with the picks and then.
probably. Yeah.
Nice. That sounds good. It's been a while since we've had like a good 2-hour show.
Yeah, for sure. Here, okay. Well, we'll call it good. This was a good episode. We didn't really know what we were talking about. I just wanted to talk about the UFC. But yeah,
Oh yeah, this was a good one. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll just cut it out at the beginning and then keep the NBA in. But yeah, for sure. All right, I'll let you sneeze. All right.
Yeah, let me go take my allergy medicine.
All right. Bye.